Yeah, started recording it.
Thank
Started recording it. Yeah. Yeah. So this is typically, your project timeline. The first step is called as starting up of the project. So in starting up of the project, you'll be having certain activities which will tell how the project is going to get started. Okay. And after that, you have got another process called as initiating process. Okay. So what is initiating process? So this is the point from which your actual project starts, right? So the first process you have got is called as starting up. The second process which you have got after starting up is called as initiating process. Okay, initiating the project. I'm just marking it as a short form, initiating the project. And after initiating the project, you'll be having certain kind of milestones, right? So these milestones are called as stages. So I'm just giving some kind of name to the stages. Maybe I'll just mark it as S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S6. Maybe I can consider this one as S0 maybe. Yeah. So these are, stages which I am having in the project, and finally S6 is considered to be the last stage of that particular project, and this is called as closing up of project. Okay. So these are the stages, and the final one is called as closing up of project. And what need to be done is from initiation till closure, someone need to guide us. I mean, someone need to guide this particular project, right? So project manager will be managing the project, and the team which will be guiding this particular project is called as project board. So, and this entire process of guiding is called as directing the project. Okay, so I'll just give a recap. So the first and the foremost thing is called as starting up of project. So starting up of the project is the point where the project will actually start, and after that project will start. That means, people will be appointed, people will be, they will, initially executive will be there, then after that project manager will be there. So it is more or less like getting ready to start the project. That is called as starting up. And the actual project basically starts from initiation. So initiation talks about various steps which are involved and how the project will get initiated, and typically how kickoff will happen and everything. And after that there will be certain stages. So stages are typically control points which you have from S1 to S6. So these are the stages where, each and every stage will be managed by the project manager until closing up of the project. So the last stage which you see in this diagram is called as closing up of project. So all these stages need to be monitored closely, right? So someone need to give some kind of guidance. Okay, so that guidance will be basically given by project board, and that particular process is called as directing the project. Okay, so each and every stage, this particular point is called as stage boundary, right? This is called a stage boundary. So this point is called a stage boundary because a particular stage will get completed and a new stage is going to get started. Similarly, this one is called also boundary, right? So every stage will be having a boundary. So boundary is a logical point where, right, you will be completing a particular stage and you will be moving to the another stage, except the last stage, because you will be completing the project but you will not be going to any particular stage. So every stage will be having something called a stage boundary, and the process which is associated in managing this particular stage boundary is called as managing stage boundaries. Okay, managing stage boundaries. Okay, so, and at the end, I mean, whenever a stage is getting completed, so what need to be delivered? Some product need to be delivered. Okay, so at the stage boundary, a product also need to be delivered. So this is called as managing product delivery. Managing product delivery. I'm just writing it. Okay, managing product delivery. Okay, so these are the stages where a product delivery will also happen. And another thing is, each and every stage which you are seeing here, this particular thing, every stage, because stage could be 15 days, stage could be 1 month, or stage could be 1 week also, right? So each and every particular stage need to be controlled, right? So every stage need to be controlled. What is meant by controlling? If there is any kind of making sure that everything is within tolerance limit. If any of the parameters is not within the tolerance limit, then that need to be identified and corrective actions need to be taken. Okay, so this is what is your project timeline, which includes a lot of processes. So I will take a different color and I'll try to mark it down. So the first, sorry, okay, the first one is called as, the first process is called as starting up of project, and second process is called as initiating the project. Third one is called as directing the project. Fourth one is called as closing the project. Fifth one is called as managing stage boundary. Sixth one is called as managing product delivery. Seventh one is called as controlling stage. Okay, so these are 7 processes which are present in Prince 2, and this is how your project timeline is organized. So all the process will be, all 7 processes basically project manager will be managing, except managing product delivery. So 6 projects are managed by PM, and 1 process is taken care by team manager. So managing product delivery is what you are seeing. This particular thing will be taken by team manager. Okay, so these are 7 processes, and this is how these 7 processes are organized in Prince 2. So if you want to take a snapshot of it, please take a snapshot of it. This is what we have seen earlier, right? So maybe you might be a little confused how, we have kept something at the bottom, there are some things at the side, there are some things which are forming the basement and all. So, but this is how your entire Prince 2 project is managed, and these are the processes which are present.